Sorry, guys, I don't like her at all. Man.
Well, a lot of people don't. But that's what that plan that Felix just found was, pay the $440 and then we'll let you know what it is.
Yeah. Here, we got one here. A bronze. See, I put a bronze in. Okay. Only $284 a month. Bronze is the worst, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
But it got 3 stars.
Yeah, because it's a good bronze plan, I guess. $6,350 maximum out of pocketable. There's no deductible.
Huh.
Deductible is actually $3,000, but let's see what they give you. Benefits: 50% co-insurance, 50% co-insurance, 50% co-insurance, 50% co-insurance. Who the hell can afford 50% of a hospital?
I know.
This is a hospital. You have to pay 50% of your hospital bills. It's catastrophe insurance. That's all it is. And if you have a catastrophe, don't pay anything. They'll take care of you anyway.
Well, I think that's why they have WebMD. So everybody can treat themselves.
Right.
And you don't have to go into the hospital. If you want to know what you have, type in the symptoms and they'll tell you what you got.
Let's go see what they're giving you for mental health, and substance abuse. 50%, 50%.
But that's only going to cover half of me if I'm crazy. What about the other half?
You can only be half crazy.
I can only be half crazy. You're right about that.
Let's see, emergency room. 50%. Everything's 50%. Urgent care, 50%. How about outpatient services when you want to go see a doctor? Let's go see what the outpatient service
is. It anything like a drive-through? When you go into, you order your food or coffee?
Outpatient services.
I did notice that they throw in a complimentary cup of coffee for coffee party people, Felix.
Very nice.
Okay, here we go. Outpatient services.
I can't joke with Felix now. He's very serious.
50%.
I can see that. Felix is very serious about this.
Yes, he is.
But I want to tell you, they do give you some free things. But if you go to your primary care physician, it's 50%. Let's see what
Mark,
they give you.
I saw the most. I'm going to try to break up Felix. I saw the most about going back to JFK.
But they will give you $200.
Wait, I can't hear you.
Most fascinating movie about JFK. I saw the PT 109.
Oh yeah, with Cliff Robertson.
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was a great movie.
Oh my God! I didn't know. I've said the same. 4 years old. I didn't even know about all this stuff.
Oh sure, how he pulled them with his teeth.
Now this is where Obamacare really works well.
Still on Obamacare.
I have to give him.
He is.
Mark, if you have prenatal or postnatal care, it's going to cost you nothing.
Well, that's amazing because I remember.
Preventive care, screening, immunizations, nothing.
When my wife was giving...
Gym membership, nothing. You don't have to pay for your gym.
Well, I don't belong to a gym, so it doesn't make a difference.
Well, baby visits, nothing.
You have to understand that's because that's the E word. I don't do the E word. That's a private joke between my daughter and I. The exercise.
Expectant mothers.
She's a runner. I'm not.
Routine health care.
I'm lucky if I'm a walker.
Up to $200 for 6 months.
You know the song, If They Asked Him, He Could Write a Book?
Yeah.
Well, baby visit. It's basically if you have they give you one visit a year and it's free for your annual checkup. And they'll give you a free colonoscopy every 5 years, but there's no liquids that come with it that you have to pay for.
And you got to take the solution, And
it's $50 for the solution.
Well.
Anyway, I'm kidding. I don't know, but they do give you certain. That's the whole idea. Everybody can get one checkup in a year. But what happens after they find, hey, you have, you've got something wrong with you? I can't afford to pay for it.
Suppose the colonoscopy finds something, and then you got to go for a further test and maybe even surgery.
That's going to cost you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 until you meet your. What? $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 until you meet your. 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 $3,000, deductible. Then you got but there is no deductible, so then you have to meet your out of pocket, which is $6,000 or $12,000, whatever it is. It's a lot of money. I know I don't have $12,000 if when I was a family pay for above that, and then you're also paying $4,000 a year for your medical. That's a lot of money. I'd rather just go and not pay. Tell them I have no insurance and take care of me. It's the law. You have to do it. And that's what's going to be happening. But anyway, sure, I guess I should get off my high horse here.
Felix, I'm signing out. You guys. Always a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yes, Dan, thank you so much.
And Dan, you shouldn't be calling, staying on the air for so long.
I know. I'm taking up the airspace. I'll talk to this guys.
Oh, we welcome your calls.
I don't know where
Thanks.
Dr. Don is calling in, but I'm signing out, though. You guys...
listen, if Dr. Don
If Dr. Don wants to talk, we're still on the air. It's okay.
We'll on the air, stay on the air for him. Absolutely.
All right.
Talk to you guys
Daniel,
later.
have a good one. Have a good weekend.
Tell Dr.
Bye-bye.
Don if you can reach him. He's got about 5-10 minutes before we go off the air if we don't hear from him.
You got it.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
You take care. Bye-bye.
You guys. Bye-bye.
I got a sore throat from all that talking.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Good thing you got off your hobby horse.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, the bottom line is all that reading. I'm sure half the people couldn't understand what I'm saying.
You want to know the truth? In all honesty, aside from the fact that I'm not computer savvy at all, I don't know if I could get through all that.
And I'm not getting through. Every time I go through it, I get cut off.
Well, that's the thing. You could spend an hour or so just answering their questions and filling in all the information, and then when you press save and then you want to come back to it, or you finally get through to talk to somebody where you want to make a decision, you find out your information isn't there, and you got to do the whole thing all over again.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm looking at it. I mean, we've been doing it at work.
Folks, I got to tell you, he's got himself so worked up. He's opening up that bottle again.
Wait a second. I'm also going to be, besides doing that, I'm also going to be heading it.
Well, put the top on before. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but you got to admit, when I take a full glass of scotch, I really still doesn't look like I touched it.
Keep saying that, Dad. That's only because we fill it up with water, so it dilutes the scotch every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, it's not... I usually don't drink at all, but...
He had one of those days at work. That's what prompted him to come up with today's topic, which unfortunately we have strayed from terribly. Okay?
But it's okay. As I said, no matter what you do and no matter what show you listen to, almost always, they wind up somehow on Obamacare, affordable health care.
Well, affordable health care is on everyone. It's on everyone's mind.
Yeah, listen. It's and all kidding aside, it's a great idea, but that was not implemented properly yet. And having catastrophe insurance is just not the idea of
what you said.
healthcare.
What you said. Well, you've been saying really about Canadian healthcare, where when you go to a restaurant, there are 3 separate taxes. And one of the taxes goes toward medical care, and everybody has the same coverage.
What happens if you have more money? You want to spending more money, and you pay more.
So you're paying more, but that goes without saying.
So it's a very fair type of plan. It's a lot of European countries also have that. It's a value-added tax or whatever you want to call it. It's a VAT they call that, and it's. They say it's socialistic. I don't know why it's socialistic.
Medicare is socialistic.
Absolutely.
Medicaid is socialistic. Social Security, is one.
Security.
Well, no, it's one step above, because in Social Security, we have paid in to that. But the problem arises when Social Security first came about. People aren't living as long as they are now.
Yeah.
I remember seeing in one of the UFT newspapers quite a few years ago, they were talking about somebody who retired at age 55, which is the usual age that most teachers tend to retire at. She lived to be into her 90s, I believe, and she wound up collecting in excess of $1 million in pension over those 40 years, from 55 to 95 or whatever it was, okay? And there's no way she had put in that much money. But by the same token, there were also teachers who retire. I worked with an assistant principal who unfortunately contracted cancer, retired at 55, and he barely was old enough to start collecting his checks, and he passed away. So, I mean, you win some, you lose some,
I think 55 is just too early to retire.
Well, I have to tell you, I would honestly like to see somebody in industry do what we do for 6 hours and 20 minutes a day with the kids and maintain your sanity and try to be different and try to be upbeat, okay? I remember reinventing myself every year, okay, and getting all excited and doing things that maybe were a little different, just to make it not only interesting for them, but interesting for me, And as one of my students said to me, I used to get very excited when I taught, and that's why the kids got excited, because I got excited about it, and I made it interesting for them. If I was going to do it by rote, I would have thrown the towel in a long time ago. Not to mention, as you get older, kids can try on your patience. Just ask any parent. Well, imagine having 150 to 175 every single day with their own personal problems, with the things that they come to school with from the home and from the neighborhood. Okay? It's not easy. But you look like you're dying to say something, Felix. Uh-oh.
It's a 5-minute warning.
Well, why play it now? We've been on the air for almost an hour and 15 minutes.
Well, that's for any callers that want to still call. They got 5 minutes now.
No, they got 3 minutes. 75. At 75 minutes, we're hitting the road. That would be an hour and 15 minutes. That's enough.
This is going to play for 5 minutes.
Well, that's a different story. That's okay.
I think you'd like that one.
I do. But
come on, callers, call in. I'm tired of listening to these.
Just remember Ernest Hemingway. Never ask for whom the bell tolls. As he says in his a poem adapted from John Donne. Never ask for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee.
All right. So we got a couple more minutes left for a caller.
Exactly, a couple and counting, trust me.
Before the door shuts on you.
Did you oil that door, by the way?
Nah.
So it still screeches?
Yeah, I think it's a little squeaky.
My goodness. Well, in a way, it's a good thing for our listeners, so they know that once that closes, that's it.
We're gone.
We're history. We're out of here.
Okay, Dr. Don or any other callers that are around who haven't fallen asleep yet?
Well, they have Monday, our next show.
Yep.
We never know what one day will bring. Who knows what we're going to discuss on Monday? But
I'm
then
thinking
again,
about discussing education.
Something
I know you don't know anything about.
In what way?
The quality of education has been improving since Bloomberg has been in office in New York.
Well,
Your feelings on charter schools,
well,
with unionized and non-unionized employees, teachers, the whole ball of wax. We don't want to talk about it today, though, because I can see you're already starting. You're thinking.
I am thinking.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a good topic to talk about is education.
Listen, I haven't slept in 2 days. I want to go to sleep tonight. I want to be able to sleep tonight.
And I think education is very important to everybody.
Oh, sure it is.
And it's something that's worth discussing. And I want members of the audience, the coffee clubbers, to think of a question that you'd like to ask from Dr.
Well,
Mark.
you talk about coffee clubbers. I noticed that they turned off the coffee urns and they're washing them out. So I think we're not serving any more coffee tonight.
No, I think coffee is gone. Let me see. Am I finishing? Oh, yeah. Last sip of coffee. Was that good?
You know, you should have put
last
the
slurp of scotch.
you should have put the scotch in there. Then you would have reminded me of Jackie Gleason
All right.
when he would drink the supposedly.
Okay.